What's good, everybody? So, the unfortunate news just broke that Stan Lee has passed away at 95 years of age. Now, he clearly lived a long, sort of luxurious, wonderful, phenomenal, impactful life. And if it's one way that, certainly you would want to live, at least from my perspective, is in a way that impacts so many people, betters their lives in so many different ways, right? From multiple backgrounds, multiple demographics, and be able to do that for generation after generation. I am a comic book guy. Everybody knows that. It's not a secret. I don't hide it or anything like that. You see my videos. I got all of this stuff always in my background, in my videos, not just of Marvel, but of DC as well. But just comics in general have always been a part of my life. It was something that was sort of embedded in myself and growing up. And Halloween, you dress up in different costumes of different comic book characters. You also maybe watch TV and the cartoons and stuff like that were on Batmans of the world and all of that. Granted, that's a DC thing, but just the cultural impact of comics in general, and Stan Lee obviously facilitated that. And a lot of y'all know that I'm always talking about culture. People give me crap for being an individual that is not involved in politics. I discuss politics and stuff like that, but I don't I don't involve myself in a political process. I don't campaign, don't vote, don't advocate that people get out there and do any of that. And you can sort of look to Stan Lee and his impact and why I'm always talking about culture. I mean, this man has been able to influence, impact, getting this content out to individuals of so many different backgrounds. I'm talking about it didn't matter if you were black, white, Hispanic, Asian, it doesn't matter. Comics, certainly from a cultural standpoint, it wasn't always like that. He had to go through all the grimy sort of years within it. And him being able to create sort of these characters and create these narratives, and this is something certainly as an adult. I grew up on this material, but certainly as an adult, I more so appreciate the narrative, and I actually cling to sort of comics and stuff like that to really get away from politics, to get away from a lot of the nonsense that comes with that. So, to me, that's what it's all about as an individual, certainly as a content creator, to try to get out there and positively influence individuals, give them something that they can appreciate, something that they can sort of dwell on, dive into, to get away, and makes them feel better about things, something they can relate to. It's why people get in comics, and this is why, from a cultural standpoint, that's what I can only dream. There's no way I'm going to be able to impact as many generations that he has, but this is certainly something that to me is important to acknowledge the impact that he not only had on my life, but also certainly what, from a content creator, we can learn from, and kind of how, not necessarily how politics tie into that, but how people from different demographics, from different political ideologies and alignments can appreciate this man and appreciate this content and talk about this and be cordial in the discussion. That to me is so important. I think all too often we get so into jumping down each other's throats, and that's what sort of the game that statism comes with. But certainly from a political side, and why I'm always talking about culture, just look no further than the impact that Stan Lee had, and then look at the many different demographics and sort of subcultures that he's been able to create, in which we all appreciate him. That's what it's about, man. That's what it's about.